Welcome to video podcast number, I believe this is number 77. Yeah, this will be my second free video for the calendar year 2018. Yeah, I've done 2 free videos so far in the month of January, and I did 1 Patreon exclusive live stream last Thursday. Matter of fact, I'm going to be doing another Patreon exclusive live stream, not this Thursday, but a week from Thursday, the 18th, a week from Thursday. I'm going to be doing, I got a lot of consultations scheduled this week, so I don't know. I'm going to try to come back with a second Patreon exclusive video, either Thursday or Friday, but yeah, I got a lot of consultations booked already for this week. I got a couple of one-on-one coaching sessions coming up before the end of the month. So this is going to be a busy month for me. But I'm going to make sure, again, my minimum per month is always to do 4 free videos per month, 2 Patreon exclusive videos for my $5 subscribers and up, and another 2 Patreon exclusive videos for my $10 subscribers and up, for a total of 8 videos. So that's my minimum. My minimum every month is to do 4 free videos and 4 Patreon exclusive videos. I would say, unless my memory is incorrect, I've lived up to my minimum goal every month except for November, last November. And I mentioned that a few weeks ago. Yeah, last November. That was the first month I didn't live up to my minimum goal in each of those categories. In November, I did 8 free videos, so I'm more than compensated with free videos. I did 8 free videos, but I only did 2 Patreon exclusive videos in November, and they were both for my $10 subscribers. I didn't do any Patreon exclusive videos for my $5 subscribers. So that's the one month I would say I dropped the ball, at least for my $5 subscribers. I dropped the ball in November. But every other month I've lived up to my minimum goal. Well, I'm chuckling for a couple of reasons. One, some of you are very observant, particularly women. When it comes to my physical self, women are very observant. So I already had a woman, she said, "Alan, I bet you eating good again." She said, "I bet you eating good again." That was her way of saying, "You done picked up some of that weight you lost." Yes, I have. Yep. So I got to get back on track, because if you remember, in 2017, I actually had a 40-pound weight loss. 40 pounds. Yeah, my heaviest weight in 2017 was 254. Yeah, I was at 254. That was my heaviest weight in 2017. And I went all the way down to 214. I went from 254 to 214. Yeah, I was as low as 214 in the month of October. Now I'm back up to about 229, 230. So I've gained about 15, 16 pounds. Yeah, I'm about 229, 230 as of this morning. So that means, yeah, I've gained, about 15 and a half pounds. And yes, I have been eating good over the holidays, all them sweets. And you know I'm type 2. Oh, I discovered this new drink, man, while I was in Vegas. One of my friends in Vegas. It's called Zevia. Now, I don't normally drink soda pop. Matter of fact, up until I started drinking this stuff, I hadn't drank soda pop on a regular or semi-regular basis for probably the last 8 years, I want to say. Yeah, I stopped drinking soda pop, man, around 2008, 2009. But, man, my friend hit me to this stuff called Zevia. You know, my favorite artificial sweetener is called stevia extract. I don't drink anything with aspartame in it. And stay away from aspartame. Shit fucks you up. This has stevia extract in it. And it's soda pop, though. I've been drinking a lot of this stuff, I ain't gonna lie. So I'm gonna have to chill out. That might be part of my weight gain, man. Because soda pop, even if it's diet soda pop, is generally not good for you. But it tastes so good, man. You know, it makes me fall back in love with, because Again, I had laid off of soda pop for a few years, excuse me. Now, I'm going to repeat myself. You know, the only time I'm motivated to do free videos is for one of these four purposes. This is like my millionth time saying this. My only motivation for doing free videos is to have some type of rant, some type of ramble, some type of admonishment, or to address feedback I've received from general listeners and viewers, and more specifically, haters and critics. Purely advice-driven videos, you got to pay for that. You got to become a Patreon subscriber if you want purely advice-driven videos. Man, see, I knew soda pop makes you burp like a motherfucker. That was a long-ass, big-ass burp. Burp number one. There's probably going to be a bunch more to come if I drink that. That's one thing about soda pop. It makes you burp a lot. Okay. Now, you know I mentioned in my last video about rejection. I started off mentioning, it was just a brief mention. But there's this other young, up-and-coming African-American brother, that was redundant, African-American brother. This young brother, I think he's in his mid-30s. He did two things. Before my last video, he was interviewed on somebody else's YouTube channel, and he said he was better than me, and he named 2 or 3 other dating coaches. And then after my last video, he came out with another video where he went after me. And now, what did I say in our last video? Did I attack this young brother? No, I said bless his heart. And I'm going to still say bless his heart. Because here's the thing, man. This I got to touch on this. I wasn't going to touch on this, but I got to touch on this. Number one, in my last video, I said that I didn't have no problem with the brother trying to declare himself as the best. Because to me, that's what he should do. I compare it to an athlete. Like somebody said in professional, well, a bunch of people have said this in professional sports, that if you don't believe you're the best basketball player on the court, or the best football player on the field, or the best baseball player on the mound, then you really shouldn't be out there. Even if you objectively are not the best in your own mind, within your own ego, you should believe you're the best. So in that respect, I don't have no problem with him saying that he think he the best. You know, from a subjective perspective, in other words, from his own opinionated perspective, I don't have a problem with him feeling that way. He should feel that way. But here's what's laughable, though. Here's what's laughable about it. Guess what his number one criteria? Guess what his number one criteria was for proclaiming himself the best? I thought it was going to be something deep and profound, like some aspect of his wisdom, his knowledge. But his main reason for him declaring himself the best is he said he's accumulated over 4,000 YouTube subscribers in like the last 3 months or the last 6 months. One of those two. Either in the last 3 months, the last 4 months, or the last 6 months. He said he's accumulated over 4,000 YouTube subscribers. Damn, I'm out of cookies. I need my cookies. Remember that video where I had my cookies ready? I had my hero cookies ready. I don't have no cookies, man. I don't have my hero cookies. Because I would give this brother, I would offer this brother one of my Mole 1 hero cookies. Man, young brother, let me tell you something. I say this with love and respect, bro. Don't ever brag to people about your number of YouTube subscribers. Well, I should say don't brag to me. I ain't going to say don't brag to anybody. Because in your partial defense, there's some people on YouTube that do pay attention to YouTube subscribers. So yeah, I can't knock you for that, because there are actually, now that I think about it, like if you notice, if you watch a lot of people's videos at the end of their video, or sometimes at the very beginning of their video, one of the first things they'll say is, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. So there's a lot of people who care about YouTube subscribers. But this brother, Alan Roger Currie, let me tell you something about me. I can't speak for all the other dating coaches that you feel like you're better than them, and that's your criteria. But with me, I could give 3 flying fucks about YouTube subscribers. Okay, let me repeat that. I could give not 1, not 2. I could give 3 flying fucks about YouTube. I give you a perfect example, evidence of this. A brother, another young brother who's, I guess, a dating coach, Donovan Sharp. He interviewed me about 3 weeks ago, I want to say. 3 or 4 weeks ago. He interviewed me. And during our interview, during our conversation, do you know, this is how much I don't keep up with YouTube subscribers. He knew more about my YouTube subscribers than I did. Seriously, he knew more about it, because he asked me, somehow, I can't remember how we got on the subject, but he brought up, he said, Alan, you've been on YouTube less than a year, and you already got over 5,000 YouTube subscribers. And I was like, no, I don't. I said, I think I got about 3,500. And he said, no, you don't. You got over 5,000. I said, no, I don't. I was arguing with him. I was basically like, no, I think I got about 3,500. At most, maybe 4,000. He said, no, man, you got over 5,000. And sure enough, while he was interviewing me, I went and checked. And I saw that I had, I think, like 5,200. Dude, I don't keep up with that shit, man. I really don't. I don't care about YouTube subscribers. Don't care about it. Again, I know there's a lot of YouTube personalities and YouTube hosts that keep up with that stuff. Like, I've heard both some female hosts and male hosts, they mention that at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. They'll mention how many subscribers they have. Man, I don't give a fuck about subscribers, man. The only subscribers I care about are Patreon subscribers as it relates to YouTube. As it relates to YouTube, the only subscribers I care about is Patreon subscribers. I don't care about YouTube subscribers. I don't pay, you can't pay no bills with no YouTube. You know what YouTube subscribers represents for the most part? That represents people who love listening to you for free. That's what that represents. That represents people who love listening to you for free. Patreon subscribers is what represents the people who are willing to offer you financial support in exchange for the knowledge, wisdom, insight, and advice you share with them. That's what Patreon subscribers represent, whether it's $1 worth of support, $5, $10, $15, $20, or more. But as far as under the category of subscribers, the only thing I care about is Patreon subscribers. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. I know a couple people, I ain't gonna say their name, but I know some people who have way more YouTube subscribers than me, but they ain't got even half as many Patreon subscribers as me. Like, I know there's a female host, I went to her page, she got something like 20 or 30,000 YouTube subscribers, but she also got a Patreon page. I think she only got like 25 Patreon subscribers. Man, I don't give a fuck about no YouTube subscribers. So, brother, man, if that was your main criteria for saying you better than not only me, but these 3 other dating coaches, is that you've accumulated YouTube subscribers, man, that don't mean shit. Other than just flattering your ego, that don't mean, in terms of this, that don't mean shit, man. See, I'm a professional dating coach, man. Okay? Meaning that I earn my living from what I do. I'm not just a motherfucker on YouTube talking shit like a lot of motherfuckers. Like, there's a lot of people on YouTube, they got like a 9-to-5 job. They ain't doing this full time. They got like another 9-to-5 job. This is like their like side hustle, or trying to make it their side hustle. This ain't what they do full time. Being a book author and a dating coach is what I do full time. Now, honestly, I didn't start off doing it full time though. Now, actually, I had a 9-to-5 job between February of 2008 and June of 2012, I actually had a 9-to-5 job. I used to work with young brothers at a university in Northwest Indiana. I was the coordinator for a mentoring program for young brothers and young Hispanic guys. So yeah, I did have a 9-to-5 job myself. I've been doing this full time since July of 2012. But yeah, man, in order to be doing this full time, you got to be making some money doing it, man. You don't make no money off of no YouTube subscribers, brother. And again, man, I'm not saying that to attack you. I'm actually trying to give you some advice, man. Dude, you in order to establish yourself as a professional dating coach, man, you need to start making some money off this shit, dude. You need to start making some money. And I heard O'Shea Duke Jackson, he was talking about it. He did a thing related to this whole issue on his show. I'll probably put a link to his episode in the comment section below. And you can always offer me feedback in the comment section below. And private feedback at coaching@mode1.net, MODEONE.net. But yeah, that's one of the things O'Shea Duke Jackson said, man. He was like, the true litmus test of any person that not only calls himself a dating coach, but a businessman, excuse me, Bert number 2, or businesswoman, is you got to be earning some revenues, man. You can't earn no revenues doing nothing but free videos. How you gonna earn revenues unless you're doing the Google AdSense thing? I guess you can make a little money off of that. But I heard they changed that so drastically that you really can't make no money off no Google AdSense. But that's the only way you can do shit for free and still make money is if you're doing Google AdSense. I don't do Google AdSense. The financial support I receive for my YouTube videos comes in 2 forms in terms of, number 1 is Patreon, my Patreon page, and number 2, I get some degree of PayPal donations. Some guys send me donations via PayPal. But yeah, man, if you ain't getting no PayPal donations, you ain't got no Patreon subscribers. I think I did see where you started a Patreon page. Good for you, man. You need to build that up, man. You need to be honest, you need to do what I do. You need to copy the master. You need to have a portion of your videos that are free, like I do. I have a portion of my videos that are free, but you got to have other videos that are exclusive only to your Patreon subscribers. Otherwise, they ain't going to give you no support, man. If all your videos are free, man, you ain't going to get no financial support. Because people's general attitude is, why do they want to pay for something that they could get for free? I mean, would you pay for a cheeseburger if you know you can get a cheeseburger for free? Would you pay for a car if you know you can get it for free? Would you pay for a movie ticket if you know you can see that movie for free? Why would you pay for anything if you know you could get it for free? That don't even make no sense. That don't make no business sense. But when you first starting out, you almost got to do a lot of free shit just to build a name for yourself. So what I say to you, young brother, I know you didn't ask me for specific advice, but I'm giving it to you anyway, man. Keep building your name. And make sure you start slowly but surely earning financial revenues and financial support, man. Because at the end of the day, it's all about this, man. If you want to earn a living as a dating coach, as opposed to just calling yourself a dating coach. Now, before I leave you alone, you know I got to offer some rebuttals to some of your comments. Now, one thing I try not to do is get into personal beefs with other dating coaches unless somebody really goes out of their way to drag me into one. But I've gotten into quite a few what I would call philosophical beefs. I get into philosophical beefs even with people that I like. I mean, me and my own older brother get into a lot of philosophical beefs with each other about shit. So, you know, I try to stay away from personal shit, so I ain't going to attack this brother personally. I wish him the best. But philosophically, I do have to rebut a couple of things. One, he tried to personally attack me, or at least my videos. He said my videos are long and boring. That's how he categorized my videos, long and boring. Because he does these to-the-point videos. I would compare him to Ron Wills. Like Ron Wills, most of Ron Wills' videos, at least his free videos, are usually around 15 minutes or less. 15 minutes or less. Every blue moon, he might go past 15 minutes. But on average, Ron Williams, when he does videos, his videos are about 15 minutes or less. Same with this young brother who's going after me. His videos average about roughly 15 minutes. Good for you, man, if you keep your videos short. I warn my listeners and viewers all the time that a lot of my rants are going to be lengthy. A lot of my rambles are going to be lengthy. A lot of my admonishments are going to be lengthy. And just a lot of my free videos, period, are going to be lengthy. Now, speaking of that, and my Patreon subscribers will back me up on this, most of my Patreon exclusive videos are not that long. Like, I rarely do a Patreon exclusive video that's more than an hour. Matter of fact, a lot of my Patreon exclusive videos, I would say average 45 minutes or less. That's my average for my Patreon exclusive videos. Is anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. I've had some shorter than 30 minutes. So when it comes to my Patreon exclusive videos, I rarely go past the 45-minute mark. But a lot of my free videos, I've had free videos that have been as long as 2.5 hours. My thing is this, man. How would you know they long and boring if you didn't take time to listen to them? That would be my question to you. How would you know they long and boring if you didn't take time to listen to them? If you took time to listen to them, that means they couldn't have been that boring because you took time to listen to them. And if you didn't take time to listen to them, how would you know they're boring? How would you know they're boring? That's like saying if a movie is over 2 hours long, that means it's automatically boring. Or if a TV show is over an hour long, that means it's automatically boring. That's bullshit. See, I'm a generalized millennials, and I probably shouldn't do this because I know millennials go far back. Millennials meaning you young people out here. It's been documented, though, that a lot of millennials, man, have a short attention span. It's like over half of them suffer from ADD. They like shit. Some people have nicknamed the millennials the microwave generation because they want everything quick and to the point. Quick and to the point. Quick and to the point. Do you know that's actually a sign of a lack of intelligence on a real tip? Seriously. If you don't like to take the time to read lengthy books or listen to lengthy documentaries or just read anything that's lengthy or listen to anything that's lengthy, that means you are intellectually lazy. That's what that basically means. You're intellectually lazy. So one of your criticisms of me is that my videos are long. None of my loyal fans and followers consider my videos boring. I've never had any person who was a loyal follower of mine that said, shoot, you should have listened to my Blog Talk Radio show. If you think my videos here are lengthy, shoot. My last 3 or 4 seasons on Blog Talk Radio, my average episode per week was an average of about 3 hours. I rarely did an episode on Blog Talk Radio that was less than 2.5 hours. All my episodes on Blog Talk Radio averaged anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours long. That was my average, my last 3 to 4 seasons on Blog Talk Radio. So, shit, I consider myself being brief here on YouTube. But yeah, man, that means you're intellectually lazy. But again, my question to you is, if you listen to one or more of my long, boring videos from start to finish, it couldn't have been too boring because you listened to the motherfucker. And if you didn't listen to it, how would you know it's boring? You know the number one way I evaluate if one of my videos was boring, particularly my free videos, is if they don't have hardly any views. That's the number one way I can tell people were bored either with the video itself or at minimum with the topic of the video is if I don't have that many views. Like if you look at my videos, some of my videos have like over 10,000 views. Some of them have over 15,000 views. Then I got other videos that only have like about 1,500, 2,500, 3,500 views. That's the way I evaluate whether a video or the topic of a video was exciting to people or boring to people, is by how few views I get versus how many views I get. So that was one criticism I heard come out your mouth, that my videos were long and boring. Here's another criticism I took exception to. You, along with some of your followers even echoed this criticism, said that Alan Roger Currie is cool and all, but He's 54 years old. I don't think he realizes that his advice only applies to dealing with women in the 1980s and 1990s. As far as for the 21st century, his advice is outdated. If I find that dog picture, I might have to insert that dog picture here again, man. Saying some shit like that. I might have to insert the dog picture. Man, I dare anybody out there in YouTube land and or the manosphere in general to say that my advice is outdated. I dare you, I triple dare you. Do you know that no less than 60% of my regular and semi-regular clients are guys that are 18 to 35? Do you know that? I would say roughly 2/3 of my clients are men that are between 18 and 35. So if my advice was outdated, how come I got so many young people following me? Do you know, I even mentioned this on a previous video. I have guys in high school that follow me. I talked about it on a previous video. I had one guy, he sent me an email. He's from London. He's a junior in high school in London. And he owns at least 2 of my audiobooks. He owns my Mo One audiobook and my Ooh Say It Again audiobook. And he's a junior in high school in London. He said all the guys at his high school, all they do is talk about my shit. And this is in London. This ain't even here in the United States where I am. This is in London. He said most of his high school friends, that I'm like their favorite dating coach. And you gonna tell me I'm outdated? See, I hate it when I have to use the N-word. Because mainly for my non-black followers and listeners. I don't like for them to hear me say it. But for you brothers, man, since this brother, most of his followers are black too, I gotta use the N-word. I gotta do my nigga, please. Nigga. Are you serious? I guarantee you, I'll be willing to bet you money I got more people between the age of 18 and 35 following me than you got following you. I guarantee you I do. I guarantee you I do. I just mentioned earlier in this video, my last 9 to 5 job I had before I became a dating coach full time was working with young black men and young Hispanic men between the ages of 17 and roughly 25. That's all I used to interact with on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. I know exactly how young brothers think and young Hispanic men think, and they know how I think. They never call me unrelatable or call my advice outdated. Name something specific about my advice that's outdated. Be specific. Don't give me these vague generalities. Name something specific about my advice that's out, that you consider to be outdated. I dare you, I triple dare you. And you know I'm going to come back and smash you. Name something specific. And that goes for your followers too. Have you one of your followers name one thing about my advice that could be legitimately considered outdated. Ain't shit about my advice outdated. And the final thing, before I move on to a couple other YouTube personalities and dating coaches who said some shit I disagree with. You made lighthearted fun about the fact that I mentioned that I'm on Wikipedia. And you went on to say that you don't believe Wikipedia doesn't mean anything. And honestly, that ain't the first time I've heard that. I've heard a handful of guys try to suggest that they feel like Wikipedia doesn't mean anything. And I was my number one response would be everybody's entitled to their opinion. Not everything has the same meaning to everybody. For example, I consider the Oscar Awards as being meaningful, just like I do the Emmy Awards, and matter of fact, last night's Golden Globe Awards, because I used to work in the entertainment industry. So those awards are meaningful to me. But I know some people, I know they like, man, I don't give a fuck about no Oscar Awards. I don't give a fuck about no Emmys. I don't give a fuck about no Grammys. I don't give a fuck about no Golden Globes. That shit don't mean shit to me. If you keep up with sports, you care about stuff like the NBA All-Star Game and NBA Championship Finals. But I know some people ain't into sports. They're like, I don't give a fuck about no NBA All-Star Game. So you got people who some people gonna care about a certain thing and other people don't. Now, all that said, since you wanted to call yourself the best dating coach on YouTube, best black male dating coach on YouTube, how can you call yourself the best anything and you ain't on Wikipedia? Answer that question for me. And this goes for anybody listening to this video. How can you call yourself the best at anything you do, and you ain't on Wikipedia? Let me tell you something if you're not familiar with Wikipedia. If you're the best or one of the best at any field of endeavor, you're going to be on 99.9% chance you're going to be on Wikipedia. Let me repeat that. If you're the best or one of the best in any field of endeavor, any industry, there's a 99.99% chance you're going to be on Wikipedia. You can't call yourself the best at anything if you ain't on Wikipedia. If you're the best basketball player, you're going to be on Wikipedia. If you're the best football player in the world, you're going to be on Wikipedia. If you're the best armed robber criminal, you're going to be on Wikipedia. If you're the top rapist in North America, you're going to be on Wikipedia. If you're the top mass murderer, you're going to be on Wikipedia. If you're the top businessman in the world, you're going to be on Wikipedia. And the list could go on and on. If you're the best politician in whatever country you're in, you're going to be on Wikipedia. How the fuck you going to call yourself the best or one of the best at anything and you ain't been considered for a Wikipedia page? I have to say nigga please again. Nigga please. You can't be considered the best at anything if you ain't on Wikipedia. Or on the verge of being on Wikipedia. One of the two. And I'm here to break that down for you, man. You cannot consider yourself one of the best actors in the world, one of the best actresses in the world. You can't consider yourself the best nothing. Even like something like street pimps. All the top street pimps got a Wikipedia page. Like Iceberg Slim got a Wikipedia page. How you gonna consider yourself the best at anything if you ain't either on Wikipedia or you haven't been at least considered? Because see, here's what Wikipedia represents. For those of you who don't know, and I've talked about this in at least 2 or 3 other videos. Wikipedia, if nothing else, represents that the media, the mainstream media, has paid attention to the things you're doing, good or bad. It could be something good like career success, or it could be something bad like you raping people or killing people. But Wikipedia represents that you are newsworthy. And that's not my words. That's that comes from the Wikipedia editors themselves. Because they're the ones who told me that. That's what Wikipedia represents more than anything else. Wikipedia represents that you're worthy of the attention of mainstream media. That's what it represents. It means, because in order to be on Wikipedia, you have to have been mentioned or interviewed on at least one national television show, which I have. You have to have been mentioned or interviewed on at least one national radio show, which I have. You have to have been mentioned or interviewed in at least one national magazine, which I have. And or you have to have been mentioned or interviewed at least one national newspaper. I've never been interviewed in a national newspaper, but I think I've had my name mentioned. Chicago Tribune, which is considered a national. I've had my name mentioned in Chicago Tribune for a speaking engagement I did in Chicago. So, yeah, man, that's the only way you can get on Wikipedia, man. You have to capture the attention of either the national media or international media. If you ain't never captured the attention of the national media or international media for the things you've done and the things you've accomplished, then how the fuck can you say you're the best at anything? You can say you striving to be the best, and I ain't mad at you for striving to be the best. That's a legitimate comment to say I'm striving to be the best dating coach on YouTube or the best black male dating coach on YouTube. I ain't gonna hate on you for striving to be the best. But for you to actually, with any degree of seriousness, say you the best, and you gonna criticize Wikipedia? Are you serious? Dude, you better wake up, bro. Dude, I'm nationally and internationally known. Do you get that? Here's the next best thing to being on Wikipedia. Speaking of being known. You want to know how you're known for those that are not on Wikipedia? The next best thing to being on Wikipedia is you got to at least, at bare minimum, have what's known as a Google box. A Google box. If you ain't got no Google box, because here's what a Google box represents. Like, I know some people, like everybody who's on Wikipedia, I want to say has a Google box. But not everybody who has a Google box is on Wikipedia. There's some people who are not on Wikipedia, but they have at least a Google box. What does a Google box represent? Google box, which is something I've had since I think either 2010 or 2011, that represents how many people search your name on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. That's what a Google box represents. The more people you have that search your name, that put your name in the Google search engine on a regular basis, then you're going to have a Google box. Even before you get on Wikipedia, you're going to have a Google box. Like, I know some book authors / dating coaches who don't have a Wikipedia page, but they have a Google box. That means that their name is being searched quite a bit. Yeah. The more people you have putting your name in Google on a regular basis, the more you're going to have a Google box. So, again, I say that to say that if you're not on Wikipedia, and at bare minimum you don't have a Google box, then that means you're not nationally known, man. You might be known among a small cult following, but you don't have national attention or international attention, particularly media attention. You don't have any national or international media attention. So yeah, man, y'all can joke all you want to. I saw a couple of followers joking about how this guy was bragging about he's on Wikipedia. Like, that means something. Hell yeah, it means something. Shit. I dare anybody to say that being on Wikipedia don't mean, it might not mean shit to you individually, but worldwide, being on Wikipedia, again, if it don't mean nothing else, it means that you are a newsworthy motherfucker. It means you're a person that's worth being interviewed by the national and or international media. That's what it means to be on Wikipedia. If you ain't on Wikipedia, then you're not newsworthy. You might have people talking about you in your little cult following of friends, acquaintances, and followers, but you ain't got nobody in media talking about your ass. You ain't got nobody in media talking about you. So anyway, that's enough on that, brother. Now here's two more. There's two other dating coaches. I'm not going to say their names. But there's two other dating coaches that said some things. Now, here's what's different about these two other guys, and this is why I'm not mentioning them by name. These two guys didn't specifically target their comments / criticisms towards me specifically. If they did, I would go ahead and mention their name, but I'm not. Because they just said some things that I just disagree with. And they could have been directed at anybody. I didn't feel like they were specifically directed at me, but I still disagree with shit they said. Here's what another YouTube personality said. I was watching a video the other day. It was actually an old video. It wasn't a recent video. But this person, he's a YouTube personality. He's actually in the same field as me. He's a dating coach, relationship expert, whatever you want to call it. Now, this particular dating coach, he doesn't have any books. He doesn't have any ebooks. He don't have no paperbacks. He don't have no hardcovers. But yet, he was taking a jab at people who do. He basically was telling his listeners that just like this first guy was talking about, was saying that being on Wikipedia don't mean shit. This other dating coach was saying that having books don't mean shit. I might have to insert the dog in again, man. I might have to insert the dog in again. Of course, this motherfucker, see, I don't want to turn this into a beef, but I got to come back guns blazing. Of course, this motherfucker gonna say that because he ain't got no books. Because he can't write. I know that for a fact. This motherfucker can't write if his life depended on it. He can't write. Now, there's some people who have books that can't write. What they do is hire what's known as a ghostwriter. Matter of fact, I got a friend from college. That's what she's doing. There's a woman I went to college with. She's in the process of getting a book published, but she didn't write it herself. She hired a ghostwriter. A ghostwriter is what you hire, like Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, a lot of you might think Steve Harvey wrote Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man himself. No, he didn't. He hired a ghostwriter to write that book for him. He didn't write that book. A ghostwriter wrote that book. He provided the information, but he didn't actually write the book. He had a ghostwriter for that book. A lot of people do that. A lot of people who know that they don't have above average writing skills, they hire a ghostwriter to write their book. I'm going to tell you, without getting too lengthy, the two things a book proves. And I'm going to actually echo the sentiments of a self-help guru named Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, I mentioned this actually in a video I did a few weeks ago when I was talking about credibility. Because Tony Robbins is someone who's been attacked quite a bit because he doesn't have a college degree. And he said a lot of people, because of that, tend to attack his credibility. And one of the things he said the next best thing to having a degree, and more specifically a PhD degree, is, he says, to have a book. Because if anybody's familiar with PhD degrees, in order to get your PhD in most programs, you got to submit what's known as a dissertation. A dissertation. That's kind of your last thing you got to do before you earn your PhD. You have to submit and defend your dissertation. What is a dissertation? A dissertation actually is like a mini book. Sometimes it's so thick that it has the length of a book. When you're defending your PhD, here's what you got to prove. Let's say you're pursuing a PhD in sociology. In order to get your PhD in sociology, you have to do two things. Number one, you have to prove that you have a thorough knowledge and understanding of the field of sociology. You have to prove that you have a thorough degree of knowledge and understanding of the field of sociology. Or if you're pursuing a PhD in psychology or economics or mathematics, any of those fields, you have to prove that you have a thorough knowledge and understanding of that subject matter, that field, before they'll give you a PhD. That's number one. Number two, you have to offer something to that field that's new, unique, and original. So if you're pursuing a PhD in sociology, not only do you have to prove that you thoroughly understand the field of sociology, but you have to introduce something new to the field. A new belief, a new theory, a new argument, a new method, new technique, something. You got to introduce something new, a new element, a new component to that field. Those are two things you got to do to get a PhD in anything. Prove that you have a thorough knowledge and understanding of that field. And then secondly, you got to introduce something new. Seeing what Tony Robbins said, and I'm going to echo his sentiments, he said basically the same. That's what a book does for a person that's not a PhD. That's what a book does. He said authoring a book shows that you know what the fuck you talking about. Whatever your field is, you know what the fuck you talking about. You understand the field you're in. And number two, he said, it gives you the opportunity to show that you're adding something new to that industry or that field. See, I'm going to tell you something about dating coaches, man. There's at least two types of dating coaches out here, and I'd include PUAs in this same statement. Like me, I anybody to say my shit wasn't original. Before I wrote Mode 1, wasn't nobody dividing verbal communication styles into 4 modes before me. I was the first motherfucker to come on the scene and do that shit. See, I added something original. All my books have something original in it. Just about all my books have something original. Either original concepts, original terminology, original beliefs, original philosophies. All my books have at least something in it that's original. See, you got a lot of PUAs and dating coaches out here. They don't have shit original. All they do is actually repeat shit that they heard from other people, whether it was a friend of theirs, an acquaintance of theirs, a mentor of theirs, some other dating coach that they know or familiar with. They just repeat shit they heard from other people. They don't come up with nothing new and unique and original themselves, because if they did, they would have a fucking book, even if they had to hire a ghostwriter to publish that motherfucking book. That's what a book, that's at least half of what a book proves, man, is that you add something new, unique, and original to the discussion. You ain't just regurgitating and repeating shit you heard from other motherfuckers. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, and I could call people out by name if I wanted to, but I'm not right now. But there's a lot of motherfuckers out here who call themselves a dating coach, a relationship expert, and PUA, and other similar capacities. Oh, man, 90 to 99% of the shit they talk about is just stuff they regurgitating and repeating from somebody else said. I know a well-known international dating coach. I ain't gonna call out his name, but I don't know if he still does it to this day because I haven't interacted with him in a while. But he used to do that. Like no less than 90% of the shit he would say was just stuff he heard from other dating coaches, including myself. I don't respect no motherfucker out here, man, that's just repeating shit they done heard from either friends of theirs, acquaintances of theirs, mentors of theirs, or other dating coaches and PUAs. And see, going back to the book issue, that's what a book proves. Because see, if you come out with a book and you don't have, and people recognize that you don't have anything new, unique, or original in that book, you're gonna get called out on that shit. And most motherfuckers know that. That's why a lot of people ain't publishing on ebook. To me, man, you shouldn't even call yourself a professional dating coach if you don't have at least one ebook. I'll give you a pass for not having a paperback or a hardcover. But if you don't have at least one ebook, like David X. David X, he ain't got a bunch of books, but he has at least 1 or 2 ebooks. And that's why I respect him. He got at least, I want to say, 2 ebooks. I read one of his ebooks. It's called Be Relentless. If you ain't got at least 1 ebook, you ain't shit. Quote me on that shit. Quote me on that shit. Since motherfuckers want to come out and say guys who got books and all that don't mean nothing, I say if you ain't got at least 1 ebook, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't no legit fucking dating coach. How you even call yourself a dating coach and you don't got at least 1 ebook? Because all you doing is repeating shit from other people, stealing shit from other people. That's what you doing. You regurgitating shit you done heard from other people. You ain't lived the shit you talking about. Because if you lived the shit, you would be dying to put a book out. Quote me on that shit. And then the final thing, addressing stuff that other dating coaches or other YouTube personalities said. Yeah, this brother is a brother. I like him. I respect him. Speaking of books, this brother got some books out. This is related to my Negro Manosphere article that you're going to find in the comments section below. It just came out today. I wrote a Negro Manosphere article about this. This is a subject I've covered off and on since 2010. Matter of fact, if you were in London, I brought this up in at least, I think, 1 or 2 other previous videos. But if anybody was at my event in London, the Direct Dating Summit, I'm not talking about just you watched the video, but you had to be there live. Because this exchange is not included in the video. They excluded it from the video. So you had to be there live. But me and this guy who was considered to be London's top pickup artist, I'm going to call him out by name. His name is Yad, Y-A-D, Yad. We got into it, not on a personal level. I said there's 2 types of beefs you can have with people, personal beef and philosophical beef. Now, personally, we didn't go at each other on a personal level. But philosophically, we had a major philosophical beef. Because basically what he ended up saying on stage in London was that he didn't believe in the idea of being of a man verbalizing his sexual desires, interests, and intentions to women. He didn't believe in the idea of being verbally direct with women. He believed in what a lot of PUAs refer to as sub-communicating his desires, interests, and intentions. Sub-communicating. That's real big among a lot of PUAs. They talk about that. I don't usually hear too many black dating coaches talk about that, but this most recent guy I'm talking about, he's black. But usually I've heard nothing but Caucasian guys talk about this sub-communication. For those of you who might be ignorant to that term, I'm going to try to give you a lighthearted example of sub-communication. Let's say you at a party and you meet a woman. And she's, I don't know, let's say she's eating a hot dog. And you look at her real provocatively and seductively. You look at her and you go, I love the way you eat that hot dog. It shows me that you know how to take a lot of meat in your mouth. See, now what did I just say? Did I say, hey, baby, I want to fuck you? Or, damn, baby, I can't wait for you to suck my dick? No. I talked about the sandwich she was eating, which happened to be a hot dog. But I made sure I had a certain look, a certain facial expression. I said, oh, I love the way you eat that hot dog. Lets me know that you can take a lot of meat in your mouth. See, what I just did, that would be referred to as sub-communicating your desires and interests to a woman. Sub-communicating. In other words, you're letting a woman know of your sexual interest in her by a combination of the way you use your eyes, your facial expressions, your overall demeanor, disposition, and body language, and your vibe, your energy. That's how you're letting a woman know you want to fuck her, as opposed to just telling a woman you want to fuck her. And I've gotten into at least 2 philosophical beefs with dating coaches about this. One was Yad in November 2010 in London, and another was another international dating coach. He's based from Australia, named James Marshall. James Marshall's real big on sub-communication. He's similar to Yad. He doesn't believe in the idea of being verbally direct with women. He believes that you should only sub-communicate your desires and interests to women. And again, recently, I heard a black dating advisor here on YouTube promote that. He didn't use the specific term sub-communication, but he promoted the idea. Now, I don't want to misquote him, because I hate to misquote people, even though I do tend to paraphrase people. So if I'm wrong on this, he can correct me if he perceives that I'm talking about him. But he basically said in so many words that having a mouthpiece, something I get a lot of compliments on, he essentially said that he felt like that was overrated. He basically, again, I don't know his exact words, but from what I gathered, from what I heard, it was like he was saying, you don't really need to have a great mouthpiece to be good with women. All you got to do is be able to have sexual energy and, be able to sub-communicate your interests. See, that's something I half agree and half disagree with. And this is what I've told people before. Here's what I would say I half agree with. If your objective is just to let a woman know that you find her physically attractive and sexually appealing in general, you can get away with just sub-communicating that. I've always said that. You can get away with that. If your objective is just to let a woman know that you find her physically attractive and sexually appealing and nothing beyond that. You can let a woman know that through sub-communication or non-verbal means. Here's where I criticize that concept. If you're trying to provoke a reciprocal response in a relatively short period of time, some communication ain't going to work, bro. It ain't going to work. Some communication by itself ain't going to work. That's the whole reason why I wrote Mo 1. Because I used to do sub-communication when I was in high school. And I wrote an article in Examiner about that. And that's what I talked about in today's article on Negro Manosphere. Most brothers I know, man, we did sub-communication techniques and nonverbal techniques when we were in high school. Probably the most notable example would be dancing. I can name a lot of times I've been at a nightclub where I was dancing with a woman and I was grinding all on her ass and grinding in her pussy with my dick and giving her a seductive look. And I was basically doing all the things that are representative of sub-communication. But a lot of those women I had those provocative bump and grind dances with, they didn't end up sucking my dick and giving me no pussy. Even though they knew I was interested. So that alone, man, that's why I always say, man, sub-communication by itself, key phrase, by itself, to me is ineffective. Again, if your objective is simply to get across to a woman that you find her physically attractive and sexually appealing, then yeah, sub-communication will accomplish that. But if you're looking for her to give you a yes, I'm interested, or a no, I'm not interested response, then you got to be verbal. You got to be verbal. Otherwise, you're going to have your time wasted. And that's always been my argument against sub-communication. And that's one reason why I wrote not only Mo 1, but my book, The Possibility of Sex. That's the main reason why I wrote my book, The Possibility of Sex, is to point out that when you indirect with women, or vague and dishonest with women, or vague and ambiguous with women, you set yourself up to have your time wasted. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. Women who are attention whores, cock teasers, and general manipulative time waster types, they want you to be full of shit. They want you to be misleading. They want you to be dishonest. They want you to be vague and ambiguous. That's what they want. Go back and listen to my interview with the chick Crystal. I'll put the link in the comment section. When I interviewed this chick named Crystal on my show, The Erotic Conversationalist, we got into a portion of our interview where we talked about direct versus indirect, and we talked about my philosophical beef with Yad and the whole idea of sub-communication. And she basically broke it down. She basically broke it down from a female perspective. She basically, and I'm going to paraphrase her words and shorten it because I don't want to get into a lengthy segue about it. But essentially, during my interview with this chick named Crystal, she said, I was asking her opinion on a guy being verbally direct versus being verbally indirect. And she said essentially that number one, she called herself a cock teaser. She was a self-proclaimed cock teaser and attention whore. She said basically, Alan, I'm very much an attention whore and a cock teaser. She said, so if a guy is indirect with me, she said, I'm going to string him along. I'm going to fuck with his head for as long as I can. She said, I'm the type of woman, I'll let a guy squeeze on my tits. I'll let a guy slap and squeeze my ass, but that don't mean I'm going to suck his dick or give him any pussy, because I'm a cock teaser. She said, I just love getting guys' dicks hard. And see, that's the reason why that's the number one reason why I've always argued that sub-communication by itself is ineffective. Because when you're dealing with a woman that's an attention whore, a cock teaser, and just a master manipulator, then she's gonna have your head spinning. She's gonna play games with you for as long as she can. She's just gonna fuck with your head. If you want to force a woman to give you a yes, I'm interested, or a no, I'm not interested answer, you gotta be verbally direct with women. You gotta be verbally direct. The ideal situation is to be both, is to use both in your favor. To use sub-communication and verbal directness. That's what I promote. I don't promote really using one or the other. I promote using both in combination with each other. Sub-communication and verbal directness. The main reason why most guys shy away from the verbal direct piece is related to my last video. They're scared of rejection. They're scared of rejection and they're scared of negative reactions. Period. End of story. That's the only reason why guys are not verbally direct with women. Because they're scared of rejection and or they're scared of negative reactions from women. I ain't scared of neither one of those things. So no, I can't agree with that. All you don't really need a mouthpiece. All you can get away with is being. No, you can't. No, you can't. You're gonna have your time wasted if you rely on sub communication alone and sexual energy alone. You're gonna set yourself up to have your time wasted. Period. You're gonna set yourself up with you're gonna open the door for a lot of what I call manipulative time waster types. Manipulative time. Again, that's the whole reason why I wrote Possibility of Sex. My book Possibility of Sex was my response to people asking me, why do you specifically need to be verbally direct with women? Why can't you get away with being verbally indirect or being vague and ambiguous or being misleading and manipulative or being dishonest? Why can't you get away with those? The answer to those questions is my book, The Possibility of Sex. And on that note, I'm going to end this long, boring rant of mine. I'm going to put it to an end, this long, boring rant of mine. Stay warm if you live in a cold weather city or state. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Who's the king?
Alan, you're the king.
Say it again.
Alan, you're the king. You're dominating me.
Say it again.
Alan, you're dominating me right now. Mode 1.
Mode 1.
Daddy, can I go, please? You're the king.
Say it again.
Oh, oh, you're the fucking king. Yes. 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 Oh. Oh. Oh.
You're the king, Alan.
AKA the king of verbal seduction. You know, it's the tone of your voice, how seductive your intonations are, the vibrations that you could just reach out over the phone lines and stroke a woman's breast just by the sound of your voice, how you could make her pussy so wet just by the sound of your voice. That's actually very hot.
So you said my show was what?
I said your show is powerful.
Oh, say it again.
Your show is powerful.
I bet the king would fuck me really good.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie. The king.
The king.
The king.